pretty brown skin, baby, I can see the summer on you. You see all the bread, and I know it make you wonder, don't you? Ooh, I ain't surprised at all. Seen them rise and fall. Went up the mountain, it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but please don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. No, I need to beat it, before you mess up the mood. Yeah, ooh, I worked too hard for it, and I need it, so please don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. Yeah. Don't mess up the mood. Oh, it's so crucial, I gotta keep it. It's in the ass everywhere. No, it's not a secret, and I bet they didn't think that I'd ever get it. Everything you done, I get it. The life you dreaming, I live it, and I'm coming in high. You better get out the kitchen. Yeah, I could make a hit on whatever you pitching. Baby, let me fill up whatever you missing. Oh, you like it up at the top, it's a better view, isn't it? I'm not surprised at all, no way. Hey, what you need? Come on, just pay the fee, I supply it all. Went up the mountain and it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top I found some relief, you see, so please don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. No, I need to beat it, before you mess up the mood. Alright, ooh, I worked too hard for it, and I need it, so please don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, oh come on, I worked too hard for it. Yeah, don't mess up the mood. Swipe.
Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Swerving, making plays, Goup Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands. Only fam around me, I can't have no friends. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. Ever since I was a teen, had prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, ballpoint on the beat, ballpoint make them dance. Yeah, we came up from nothing, now we're making plans. Yeah, just picked up some bands, Tell her ask it questions when I come again. On the run like a runaway. Only way is the money way. New chain, no jewelry. No games, don't fool me. 21, been a boss. Take the game, pay the cost. Heard you rolling TikTok. Need to get another watch. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says.
I could probably use some heartbreak to get moving. Tired of the way you let me down. You fill me up with broken promises, 'cause you never keep them. I'm so sick of the way you let me down. So all my time, oh, don't try. I don't like all the things you do, mess with my head. Just pick me up, let me down like you don't care. This is for my time.
This is going to be a round for Guild. I don't think there's time to go back into this unless Taimu does something dirty.
No way. No
Time.
way. The player at grass should hear
You
it.
say this. Wait.
No way. No way. Delete the VOD.
Bridge is available. They have to go down to them. Well, right now they're pretty hard to minute. Asuna on the beat again. Asuna
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Logan. Oh my god, Logan.
Welcome to The Headshot, the show where we get you caught up on all the latest news from the VALORANT Champions Tour. Let's get started with a look at some of the best plays from this week's Challengers event.
Are you kidding me? さあ前半キ負けてはいません。エンブレス
時間稼ぎが必要です。
当たっているぞ
おお、
ドリブル
今の当たり方。
実ミス
時間稼ぎ。
噛み合った
素晴らしい立ち回り。
全楽キンこれが熱狂のエース중간이 있네요 오늘 와 뭐죠 와 5K 와 이거 에이스 나오나요? 잡으면 에이스예요 와 에이스 bundan Apex geldi Krax neler yapıyor Krax
Energy looking primed for 12 unless someone can absolutely pop off. Is it time for Asuna? Has to clear out showers, wants to try to push, sees the weapon, pops it up for 3. Would have to be an ace. It's information, finds the fourth, knows where the last player is. Asuna will get at least to halfway in the defusal. Shanks on the opposite picture. Oh my god!
Now let's head over to Latin America to check in with Nags from Crew Esports to see how they've been preparing for Masters.
Hola. Mi camino a través de la Champions Tour ha sido de momentos de alegría y de muchos momentos de frustración también. El torneo está bastante bueno, hay equipos muy buenos en la región. Sí, a mí siempre, desde que jugaba Counter, me gustó jugar de Sniper en el Counter de APE y ahora de Operator. Y encuentro que Jet es el personaje que más se acomoda con este rol, ya que tiene mucha movilidad, el dash le da el escape para poder hacer pick agresivos y dejar la ronda en ventaja y todo eso. Y a mí siempre me ha gustado como eso, como jugar un poco agresivo, tratar de dejar a mi equipo en ventaja, y encuentro que la Jet es el personaje como ideal para eso. Yo comencé como jugando al principio el Valorant, comencé jugando a otros personajes como Cypher, hasta Sova intenté, y sentía que como a mi equipo le faltaba como esa agresividad al momento de entrar a los sites, como que se generaba como un cuello de botella, y sentía que con Jet podía como solucionar ese problema, donde mi ingreso a Crew estaba muy emocionado, ya que la organización del Sergio Agüero y hasta mi familia está emocionada. Crew siento que tienen un profesionalismo que debe venir como del Kun, que le debe exigir que sea así de profesional. Siento como que él ha estado en muchos equipos y sabe como lo que necesitan los jugadores, el apoyo que es súper importante. De cara a la Masters hemos estado entrenando mucho, hemos hecho varios cambios en el equipo de composición que siento que están dando sus frutos. Cada día nos sentimos más confiados, cada día notamos el crecimiento del equipo. Vamos a poder dar un mejor espectáculo de cómo comenzó el año.
Time to check in on the results from last weekend's tournaments. FaZe Clan took the win this past weekend at Challengers NA Week 3 main event. This is the first major victory for FaZe in quite a while, thanks in part to Baby Bay, who had an outstanding weekend, achieving a peak average combat score of 405 on Icebox against 100 Thieves in the grand finals. With this win, FaZe Clan qualified into the first Masters event alongside 100 Thieves, Luminosity, and Gen G.
Goes for the swing!
Over in Europe, the following teams came out on top in the Challengers Week 3 main event: Guild Esports, Defuse Team, Ballista Esports, and Raise Your Edge Gaming. All 4 of these teams have secured their spot at Masters, defeating teams like G2, Fnatic, OG, and Wave Esports along the way.
CNET takes a 4K.
On the other side of the continent, CIS also completed their Challengers Week 3 main event. Tweezy, GMT Esports, Forza, and Team Singularity made it out of the bracket to claim the last 4 Master slots in the region. In Turkey's Challengers Week 3 main event, these 4 teams took the win: Cyberskull Esports, Rare Esports, Footballist, and Zero Zone. They advanced from here into the first Masters event.
İnanılmaz bir oyun. Böyle olmamalıydı.
In Challengers Korea Week 3 main event, Damwon Kia and Apex People took the win, qualifying into Masters along with runners-up TNL Esports and F4Q. Damwon Kia came back in full force after their shaky performance in Week 2, ending the weekend with a perfect record in their bracket.
Wow, 5K!
Nearby in Japan, Reject and Fennel came out on top in Challengers Week 3. They advanced into Masters with Lag Gaming and Bluebees, who tied for third. This is the first major placement for Fennel, who are a new squad that have been on the rise since the beginning of Challengers Japan.
さあエースマリンが決めるひっくり返した
Brazil played the second half of their Week 3 main event, where Imperial Esports and Shark Esports took the win for their groups, with Pain Gaming and Slick following behind them. All 4 teams have secured their tickets to Masters. This is a notable win for Sharks, who were formerly known as Squad 5, putting themselves on the map in Brazil for the first time. The final Week 3 main event was held in the Philippines. Archangel came out on top, securing their spot in Southeast Asia Masters. The rest of the region will play their Week 3 main events this coming weekend to determine who else will qualify.
Moldova is huge.
With the final week of Challengers Stage 1 in the books, let's see how each region is stacking up for Masters. Here are the teams that will be playing in NA's first Masters event. If you haven't been following Challengers closely, you may be surprised to see TSM missing from this list. After a dominant year in 2020, they've struggled to find their footing since the start of the VCT. They nearly qualified several times but ultimately fell short to other teams. This event will feature a variety of talent, from longtime Valorant powerhouses like Sentinels and Gen G, to up-and-coming rosters like Xset and Luminosity.
Photo by himself. Does he have enough time to plan? He sure will not anymore. It's just down to the kills. And Chrono, how has he managed to do that?
Europe's Regional Masters event will feature these 8 teams. Many of EU's notable teams have failed to make the list, including G2, OG, Fnatic, and Team Liquid. The drastic shift in Europe's balance of power shows just how quickly the scene has
Very
grown.
integral to this. He's found another. Oh, that's a third.
Teams that were dominating the region last year have begun to fall to the new generation.
He's doing the dance. He's buying them time, and patience is going to be everything. Isolates one. He knows the second. And of course he does it.
Will longtime EU stars like FPX and Ninjas in Pajamas be able to keep up? Tune in to find out.
These guys are playing off full orbs. Well, that's just pre-nated shit. Whoa, what is that?
Masters in CIS features some very familiar faces for the region, like Forza and Team Singularity, the first and second place teams from First Strike. There's also some exciting new amateur squads in the bracket, like Divinity and Tweezy, who have been making waves in Challengers. The new and old talent of CIS will clash when Regional Masters kicks off this weekend. In Turkey, after just barely falling short in Week 2, Footballist has finally made it into Masters. They qualified in through Challengers Week 3 main event. Footballist has been a consistent top team in the region, but they've placed into the same group as BBL Esports, the undeniable kings of Turkey, who beat Footballist in the First Strike Grand Finals and have since been undefeated in the VCT. Can Footballist get their revenge, or will they fall to BBL once again? Tune in to find out. All eyes will be on Vision Strikers at Regional Masters 1 Korea. The team still has yet to lose a match since the launch of Valorant, but with the rest of the region slowly improving around them, they may finally face their match. They're in the same group as New Turn Gaming, who gave them some trouble in Challengers Week 2, and Apex People, who have been on the rise since the start of Challengers. Will Vision Strikers be able to keep the streak alive, or will they finally take their first loss? Absolute Jupiter has continued to dominate in Japan and will likely do so at Regional Masters. But there's a number of rising stars in the event that have put the region on notice, including Reject, Lag Gaming, and FAV Gaming. Will any of these squads be able to keep up with the aggression of Laz and Rada? Tune in this weekend to find out. Brazil's Regional Masters is set to be a banger, with an all-star cast of teams. Longtime icons of the region like Gamelanders and Vorax will face off against the new stars of Challengers, Team Vikings, and Furia. So far this year, competition in Brazil has been explosive, and it's sure to come to a head with so many talented teams meeting in one single elimination bracket. LATAM North and LATAM South will be competing in 2 separate Regional Masters events. The north side of the region's event is already underway, with stars like Laser Clan facing off against their new rivals LDM Esports. Check out ValorantEsports.com for the results. Over in the south side of LATAM, upcoming teams like Stampede Gaming and Crew Esports will face off against top squads like Weigers Argentina and Australs. Challengers events are still ongoing in Southeast Asia, but here's who made it into Masters so far. Regional 1 Masters SEA will combine all of the sub-regions into one tournament, which is set to begin later next week.
The Sheriff had Dustin will do it again and again and again.
Who do you think will take the win at Masters in your region? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the action. Thanks for watching The Headshot. For upcoming matches and schedules, check out ValorantEsports.com. We'll see you next week for more updates on all things Valorant Champions Tour.
Right now, Dog gets killed.
Very
losing a
low
little bit of
Slash.
position. Oh my God,
Now
Lawrence.
it's 3 against 3. Slash very, very low.
Lawrence another kill, takes out 5K.
And another Ina. All that's left.
Open, that can happen when it's a 4 versus 5. So, I mean, the Rays can make this work. Oh my God, he's been smoked, but now she can even fire in from window.
Level low.
Thought was going to happen in the last round. It's going to happen this time, minus it actually doing anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bunny dies before getting rid of the showstopper. Goddead comes in, follows up, dies as well. Down goes.
5K just runs into a corner and gets killed.
So there's back and elbow right now. Pops out and gets that kill.
It's not going as well as I think they wanted. Shot over here. Slash gets a kill here on Da.
Slash being worth so much.
There's no real way for the Rays to get out. She does come out anyways. Shot in the back.
Try to rush here through A main. A lot of crossfire set up.
Oh, the jet play is insane. But this is a position it might be possible here for the defending side to actually hold.
Oh my God, Allow just massacring here with that late storm.
We are now in 5 days here for Valorant Masters Korea, and today we've got some great matches coming up as well. I am your host here at the Analyst Desk, Chobra. I'm joined by Ending Life, and yesterday we finally had to send our first teams home.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate for the two teams that went home. However, it's not the end of the Valorant esports scene for them. We do have challenges coming up again. We have Masters again. We're gonna have that 2 more times before we reach the champions. World champions. So.
Yeah, it's just a short break, right? Not to be too discouraged, but of course, yesterday we did start with the New Turn versus Apex People. This one pretty much went as expected. New Turn absolutely dismantling Apex People, and Apex People they've been on the rise, but they're just not ready yet.
Exactly. Getting dismantled. Now the Apex People have to rebuild themselves, obviously. But yeah, yesterday's match was a little bit one-sided in terms of score as well as just strategic plays that they have shown on both sides. So yeah, New Turn, we're definitely going to see them play today again. So we'll see what they have prepared for us today.
Of course. And then for the second match yesterday, we had APE Prince going up against F4Q. Now, this one looked a little dicey, went into overtime on both maps. But the important thing is APE was able to clutch it out at the end.
Yeah, so AP going to be playing today. going double overtime in both maps against a streamer team, to be honest, even though they did win, I give them props for that. But double overtime against a streamers team is not. It's kind of iffy. Let's hope that they've came up with some new strats and new approaches for today.
All right, well, they didn't have that much time, but we'll see what they've prepared. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick to see where things lie now. We have sent the 2 teams home like we mentioned yesterday. Apex People and F4Q are now out of the tournament, and that means in return, New Turn is continuing on to the Cider match today in Group A, and then we will actually be starting with Group B today with Damwon Gaming Kia versus APE Prince. Of course, ending this means that today, the winners move right on into the semifinals tomorrow, but the losers are once again eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, so the elimination is going to keep coming and coming from now on. However, you guys just saw the bracket, and the first game we have today, Damwon Gaming Kia versus APE Prince. If they win, their next opponent is going...
yeah, it's Vision Strikers. Spoiler alert. Semifinals not looking so hot for whichever team wins today. But step by step, all right? First, you got to get that win, get that momentum going. Let's talk a little bit about Damwon Gaming Kia. Now, this is a team that I feel like every time we're talking about them, every time we look at them, they seem to be improving on the right path, right? They're a very kind of textbook improving team. They're expanding their Asian pool, but they're still not quite at the top 2, top 3 level.
Exactly, and I like the fact that you mentioned that improving textbook-wise, because they all, Damwon Gaming Kia, they all have the individual skills. They just have to work on the comms and the teamwork and the executions onto sites, plus the rotations on defender's side. So, as long as they get those basic foundations covered and, worked on, I think they're going to be a very, very strong team and, a team to be reckoned with in the future.
Yeah, we'll see if they can continue improving even within this Masters. Of course, one of the few teams that has chosen to kind of expand into that Sky territory. We've seen it a couple of times during Masters so far. We'll see if that pans out again today. On the flip side, we have APE Prince, and we talked about it earlier about their match yesterday. Now, this team is still a bit shaky, but I think the most important thing here, Ending, is that they proved yesterday when push comes to shove, they can focus, they can zone in, and get that W.
Yeah, and like I said, these guys are definitely still has a chance to make it into the semifinals. But out of the 4 teams that are playing today in total, right, this team is probably, I would like to say, the least prepared in terms of strats and diverse strategies, but they excel in full ham rush onto a site. So unless Damwon Gaming Kia has prep to stop them a little bit, like put a break on them, put up a wall or something like that, APE Prince may just literally just stomp over them.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a momentum fight.
Yes.
Now, both of these teams originally kind of more known for their taking their time, right, running down the clock. But as you mentioned, coming into Masters, we've seen a bit of a change in APE Prince. Now, these 2 teams have fought against each other before. It was a 1-map draw, right? They each took a map, and they also took the map that they each chose.
Yeah.
So it really talks about they're confident in their strengths. This is a fight about who has shorn up their weaknesses.
Exactly. You guys can see the map data right there. So, I wouldn't be surprised, like, even before the map predictions come up, I wouldn't be surprised if they, each ban the other maps that they lost in. But, we'll have to see about that soon.
Just reliving that memory a little bit.
But at the end of the day, we don't know the winner yet. Like you see, it was a BO2. So today, BO3, we get to decide the loser that goes home. But just between these 2 teams, when you go home, it's like, oh, my team's better than yours.
Yeah, I mean, you still, you got to fight for that pride.
Yeah.
And we talked about their upcoming opponent in Vision Strikers in the semifinals, but you still at least want that shot, right, at going to the semifinals. So let's take a look at Damwon Gaming Kia's breakdown for the maps. Now, there are some very clear strengths here in Ascent, in Bind, even Split. But then Icebox, of course, they had to play it coming to Masters, and that did not look so good for them.
Yeah, Icebox having 0% or not even being on the list is not surprising yet in Masters 1. As the days go by, when we move on to Masters 2 and 3 and Worlds, I hope that these percentages change a little bit, get a little bit more numbers into on the side of Icebox. However, look at this, Ascent 90%, Bind 83. So now APE Prince may just be in trouble because now they have to choose, out of 2, possibly even 3, including Icebox, which one to ban and which one to not pick or try to avoid.
Yeah, there's a bit of a choice here to be made for APE. And of course, for Damwon Gaming Kia, again, we mentioned the Sky earlier. They came prepared for the Bind, not so much for the Icebox. So we'll have to wait and see. For APE Prince, now they have some advantages here as well. Their split, especially, map rate is high, but they've been kind of avoiding it, haven't had a chance to play it. They've banned it a couple times coming into Masters, so they've shown that they're a little scared of that split.
Yeah, exactly. And split, yeah, the percentage is high there, but Damwon Gaming Gear, as we just saw, is also high on split. So, that might be an iffy decision that puts them in a dilemma. However, Ascent 57%, but I'm mentioning this because even though it's 57%, in the most recent matches, AP Prince, pretty good on Ascent. So, it might be in their interest to possibly try to get Ascent into that map pick.
Okay. Yeah, obviously when we talk about these maps, especially the stats, we also have to try to remember who they played against, right? Like maybe you have a low win percent because you only played Vision Strikers on that map. You're not going to have a high percentage. Well, these are the predictions that we have so far for how the map ban and picks are going to go. Let's talk a little bit. Icebox, no big surprise, but the bind, I mean, do you think that's purely because it's so strong for Damwon Gaming Kia?
I think it goes both ways. Damwon Gaming Kia does have that high win percentage, and they have they're known. Damwon Gaming Gear is known for being good at bind, especially when they got Chibop into their roster. Because Chibop is the master of bind, especially with the Jet. So, that is one of the reasons why I do agree actually with this ban prediction here. AP Prince banning the bind, but the split pick, I think, is going to be up in the air like we saw. They both have pretty high percentages. So, we'll see what happens on split.
Yeah, I mean, again, the split win rates for AP Prince are from a while ago. So while they've shown strengths before, maybe not so much these days. Maybe they're not comfortable with the map in the current timeline. So Damwon Gaming Kia has some choices there for themselves as well. Well, it looks like on paper, when we're comparing the stats and such, Damwon Gaming Kia has a bit of a lead, but we have to also pinpoint which players we're looking out for in this matchup. Damwon Gaming Kia, I think there's a couple selections, but let's talk about texture. And of course, whenever we talk about texture, you always like to bring up the Chibop duo as well.
Yeah, so they are a package right there. Right now he's playing the Jet, but soon I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some rays from Texture. So that just tells you that when Texture's on the Jet, Chibop's on the Rays or the Raider, and vice versa. So Texture, very team oriented. So I'm very curious as to how much more improved Texture is today coming in, whichever map he plays.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, Texture and then Chibop as a duo, this gives them that ability to have a bit of a kind of trade-off and then also some dual entry, whereas some other teams like AP Prince, we'll talk about that in a moment, they're a bit more strict in their roles. So Damwon Gaming Kia has a bit of an advantage here. So you're expecting that we might see more Jet for Chibop and Texture kind of floating around on that Raze or that Reyna.
Oh yeah, well, depends. If we get the bind, it's a 100% Chibop is going to be on the Jet and Texture is going to be on the Raze. However, on the other maps, where we need a little bit more laid back, passive, strategic plays, we might see Texture playing on that Jet. So, depending on the maps, Damwon Gaming Gear has prepped a lot in terms of agent picks.
Okay. All right. Now, on the flip side, we briefly mentioned AP is a bit more strict. And when we say that, we mean that Lawrence is the guy that's going in with that Jet, getting those kills. And there's a lot of weight on his shoulders today.
Yeah, the world is on his shoulder. And like Chober mentioned, this team right now, in terms of, their strategies, most of their strategies, yes, there are slight tweaks here and there, but the general idea is my way or the highway. They go in, it's like Jet goes in, highway, Autobahn right there, just straight tailwinds in, with the supporter, obviously, with his Omen on how, with Omen and as well as the flashes with the Paranoia. So, depending on how good and on point Lawrence is, I think this, this may shift towards to the side of AP.
All right. So AP is pacing really relies on Lawrence's performance today. Now, yesterday against F4Q, he did have the highest average damage out of all 10 players. So clearly able to keep the lead and try to drag his team forward through those overtimes. Well, now it's time to call for the predictions. And I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm going off the stats, off the history. I'm going to go with Damwon Gaming Kia. What about you?
I'm going to go with Damwon Gaming Kia as well.
Okay.
Just hands down, this one. Even though I do give props to AP Prince, just overall, Damwon Gaming Kia, here and there regarding, team compositions or team plays. They're not perfect. AP also not perfect, but Damwon Gia is just a little bit higher than AP Prince is what I think.
Just not have faith in Lawrence? You don't think he can just become Super Saiyan today and take over Damwon Gaming Gia, open up that Autobahn for AP?
See, Lawrence, maybe he can be just Super Saiyan 3, but he doesn't have Vegeta with him too.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
All
he's a level under.
But Texture and Chiba,
Yes,
they can go
Yeah,
fusion.
they have the earrings, yeah. They got the earrings
right.
on each side. Yeah, they're going to be doing that.
Okay, so you're giving the edge to Damwon Gaming Kia.
Yeah.
Do you think APE can take a map off of Damwon?
Just like yesterday when I said TNL, the highest hopes of them getting or winning is just one map. I think it goes the same way here where AP Prince will possibly take a map, but I think that is their limit today in this tournament against Damwon Gaming Kia.
Okay, so Damwon Gaming Kia versus AP Prince. Now, I just want to think ahead just a little bit. I know earlier I said we'll take it step by step. Do you think either of these teams, if they win, is there like even a 5% chance against Vision Strikers?
So I think Damwon Gaming Gear, one of the reasons I chose them is because they're the team that does have the slight small chance of putting up a fight against Vision Strikers
going into the semifinals
compared to AP Prince.
Okay, so Damwon Gaming Kia is just a bit ahead at the time.
Yeah.
But of course, when the moment comes, we're still kind of in the shaky stage. I think today's matches, right, this is that fine line where we decide, are you really in the best teams here in Korea, or are you still kind of on the fence? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to decide our third semifinalist here for Valorant Masters Korea. It is going to be between Damwon Gaming Kia and APE Prince coming up shortly.
I dreamt we had more than 20. I have seen this before, and I have lived more than plenty. Now lay me in the ocean. Why lullabies? I've used my time. Now lend me to the ocean. Sing my songs when I'm gone. I know sorrow, I know pain. Let them have me if I'm ready. All them skies know our names. When it's time, burn me steady. Then lay me in the ocean. Why lullabies? I've used my time. Now lend me to the ocean. Sing my songs when I'm gone. Let's just ride, let's just ride. White noise in the night. Let's just ride, close your eyes.
And welcome back to another day of Valorant Masters Korea. I am Achilles alongside Paper Thin, and we are ready to jump into the action. Some elimination matches here today as we get ready to send some teams home as well as send some forward into the semifinals.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting day. Some darn good teams have made it this far, and they get to go up against some other really good teams. Damwon Kia versus APE Prince to start, and then TNL Esports versus New Turn. This is about how you would have scripted this whole thing out, like with the two teams that have made it so far and the four teams that are here. I think this is
pretty much how I would have penciled it in all the way down. Like, there haven't really been any upsets yet.
I would say the one for me is probably APE Prince taking down F4Q. I think that might be the one, true upset that we kind of had coming into this. F4Q and APE Prince, I wouldn't have separated them by too much.
Yeah.
But I still kind of suspected that APE was going to be, the bottom team in this group. So it's a really big step up from them to be able to take down F4Q in that very close series yesterday.
Well, you couldn't get Afina his ramen yesterday, so I mean, what are you gonna do? That's a heartbreaker there. But so you can see this is just kind of the order of things, right? We've done the challengers, now we are at the Masters. Eventually, we get the champions, but that's quite a ways off still, and we got a few Masters to go. And my word, Achilleos, we are just blasting right through this. The decider matches today, and then semifinals tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to win this match, you're guaranteeing yourself a spot in the top 4. That's 45 circuit points that you can net for yourselves. Obviously, everybody is going to be wanting that top prize, the 100 points, as well as the $40,000 USD. Then we also have to determine who our MVP is going to be for that finals matchup, so they can walk away with an extra little, around 5K in their pocket. That's going to be pretty good,
Yeah, that's definitely nice.
Buy a couple more skins in the game as they just keep churning out the packs, get that Prime 2.0 and whatnot.
Yeah, you can buy a few skins, buy some good Samgepsal, some good food here, some KBBQ. Take your team out for thanking them for backing you up and allowing you to frag out like the nutter you are, whoever ends up with it. But yeah, yesterday's results there, pretty expected with New Turn and the 2-0 over Apex people. But like you mentioned, I think, it was an extremely close match. Even though it was 2-0 between APE Prince and F4Q, they both went to overtime. F4Q fought tooth and nail, fought their hearts out. But at the end of the day, APE Prince was just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, the double OT did come through, but unfortunately F4Q, especially in the last map, weren't able to make it nearly as close. Did just drop the initial 2 rounds, so they do fall out of the tournament. But taking a look at our bracket, this is where we stand. Decider matches today to figure out how our semifinals are going to look tomorrow. Then all the teams that are qualifying forward into that grand final best of 5 set get a little bit of a break, take a rest until Sunday, and then come back in for that absolute banger of a series. No matter who is going to be in there, it's going to be absolutely incredible. We suspect that Vision Strikers will be able to make it in, but you never know. Maybe that first loss is on the horizon.
Well, I think one way or another, it's going to be really interesting. And again, the winner of this first match of Damwon Kia versus APE Prince goes on to face Vision Strikers, if I'm not mistaken, right? They come up through the other side of the bracket. It crisscrosses, and then the winner of TNL Esports versus New Turn goes to face on Muyaho. So we could, if New Turn can somehow get this done, they've got some really tough opponents, but we could see, that first game we had, the very first game to kick off this tournament, we might see a rematch in the finals.
Yeah, it could very well be. Muyaho is going to be an incredibly difficult opponent for them if they can get through TNL as well to begin with. But I think given what we've been seeing from TNL as of late, that's not going to be their biggest concerns. I think that New Turn, obviously prepping for this series, but likely have their eyes set to the future as well, and are just wondering, if we make it there, how do we get through Muyaho? How do we get ready for that matchup? But starting us off, it's going to be Damwon Gaming Kia going up against APE. APE, again, somewhat of a surprise for me, did take down F4Q with that 2-0. They had to fight tooth and nail to make it happen, though, whereas Damwon Kia, they're coming off of a 2-0 over F4Q as well. Then had a very close series versus Muyaho. We had the tech delays and everything, and there was a very late evening, but they were just barely not able to get the victory at the end of the day. Icebox, there were some heartbreaker moments for them that, 0 seconds left detonate as they were trying to get the defuse on the spike there on the A site. So many crazy moments from that last series, but it looks like these guys are well rested. They're ready to bounce back, come in here today and take down APE.
And it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams kind of fare against each other. They haven't played each other in a little while. They did play each other back in Challengers 2, and it was a 1-1 in the best of 2, so they split those. Now, that being said, some things to take into consideration for Damwon Kia at the time. They had brought 2 members newly over to the team. Kelly and Chibop were new after replacing Hate and Ritzy, so they seem to be much better now than then. Of course, usually it takes a little while for a team to kind of gel, to get everything going together. So this time around, I think APE Prince, yeah, it was 1-1 last time, but now you've got a stronger Damwon Kia team.
You do. APE. It would be such a huge upset for them. What a Cinderella story if they're able to get themselves into the semifinals from the bottom of the rankings, from just about all the analysts out here in Korea, to then making it a top 4 appearance, and then who knows, beyond that, it would be a crazy turnaround for these guys who have had a fairly rough time of it in their brief appearance in week 3, and then here as well in Masters. So we'll see if they can dig deep and get it done. I mean, Transitive Property will tell you that Damwon should be taking this one. We saw them get O2'd by Muyaho. Damwon take a map off of Muyaho, so therefore Damwon's a slightly better team. You can try to math that out, but at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to how they play once they get into the lobby.
Well, caster math tends to fail at times, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
my math's been doing pretty well so far in Masters.
Hey, don't. You're right. I have to admit it, and I hate it to admit it, but you're right. So far, you've been doing pretty good with your predictions. I mean, for me, I think this is going to be pretty close. I think APE, to me, is showing signs of consistent improvement, and same with Damwon Kia. That's what makes this a really exciting matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this go 2-1. I think no matter what, it's going to be close. I'm a little curious to see if we get a sense how APE is going to do on it, because they got absolutely dumpstered by Muyaho on it when they played. So
yeah,
I'm a little worried. I mean, if I'm Damwon Kia, I mean, just mentally, no matter how good I think I am at that map, I'm almost like, well, I want to play Ascent because I want to force APE into a bad spot. Mentally.
It's rough. I'm not exactly certain where they're really going to look to take us. I mean, Haven has been a map pick for APE as well as Bind in the past. We saw that just yesterday versus F4Q, so I wouldn't be shocked if they just want to go for one of those, maybe ban away the Ascent. They can at least have faith that Damwon Kia is not going to be picking Icebox. So you don't have to worry about that. I think the other big concern, I guess, going up against Damwon is going to be split. Some Ascent or split probably going to be the bans for them. But we just have to wait and see. You never know. We've been surprised in the past as far as some of these map picks. The likes of ZF Gaming taking Vision Strikers to Haven. Multiple teams now starting to do that. New Turn taking them to Haven in their first series here at Masters and beating Vision Strikers. So as teams continue to improve and find new strategies, they will have an increased level of comfort and then can bring out those surprise map picks. Here are our predictions, though, across the board, and this is what concerns me, is that all of the Koreans are agreeing with me for once. They're saying Damwon Gaming Kia. So
why does that concern you?
Because usually I'm going against the grain. Usually it's,
oh my
only
God.
Inho and I agreeing.
You're such a hipster.
So maybe this is the upset today for AP Fritz.
I don't know what to expect with this. It just feels like Damwon Kia is just a little bit more clean, a little bit more crisp on every map. I mean, Icebox, nobody but Vision Strikers really seems to have a great handle on it. You can kind of say, so that's kind of like throw that up in the air, whatever. But the problem for, like you mentioned earlier, Bind is a good map for AP Prince. The problem for them is Damwon Kia hasn't lost on it in a couple months. Like, they're actually pretty darn good on Bind, too. So you run into a weird problem with APE that there isn't a map that they're better than Damwon Kia on, really. Maybe they've been able to practice something, overnight and get something ready in time. We'll see, because right now it is going to be, they are the underdogs. There's no doubt about it, but you never know. With Lawrence and Cobra, I mean, those guys are actually cracked. Like, they can come in and really step forward, and they talked about it in the pregame show, did Ending in Chobra.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
So they have surprised us. It's going to be Icebox selected by APE. Bind will be there from Damwon.
Wow.
Then we go into Icebox. Okay, so they are throwing us a little bit of a curveball.
So I like this. I mean, like I just said, if AP Prince had practiced something, because they knew that a lot of their good maps, Damwon Kia is frankly as good or better on, why not go for something crazy? Damwon Kia bans Haven. That makes a lot of sense, because that's AP's, like you talked about, their best map. Or their favorite map, whatever way. AP ban Split makes a ton of sense. I mean, Damwon Kia is really good on that map. This is a really fascinating pick ban phase, and actually I think it makes a ton of sense for both teams. Like, this is one where I'm not sitting here kind of scratching my head a bit and just going, well, one team banned something just because they don't like it. Not because they're not good on it or something like that.
I do have to be a little bit concerned. How much is this APE feeling super comfort on Icebox, and how much of this is them kind of getting backed into a corner, because they themselves not really going to want to select Ascent. They can kind of interpret Bind as a neutral pick between the two because they can perform decently on that map, but they want to avoid Ascent. They want to, not go to Split, and with Haven banned, maybe it just kind of leaves Icebox as the last viable option for them. Obviously, when we get to that map, the play will go ahead and reveal whether or not this was something that they intentionally wanted to go for, or whether or not this was a corner that they got backed into.
Right.
But either way, it's a damn interesting draft, and I'm excited to see how this goes. But for APE, you do have to be concerned because Ascent is going to be that third and final map if this does go the distance. And given the history there,
I think it could. I mean, I think it can, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think this does favor in the long run Damwon Kia. We'll see how Icebox goes. I mean, Icebox just feels like it's such a wild card right now in this region.
All right, well, that'll be map number 2. For map number 1, let's go ahead and get things kicked off. We are headed to Bind Damwon Gaming Kia versus APE Prince. All right, so we kind of flew through the agent.
Did we see an agent select? Did it exist?
It just happened. So click your fingers and it's gone. You
can I just write in what they both used on the last time they played Bind? Is that what's going on? I mean, Kelly on Brim, okay. Started out, it's Secrets on, okay, Sky again.
Yeah, sticking with a lot of the same of what we saw from Damwon versus Uyaho just 2 days ago. Cheap up here in U-Haul, playing forward, waiting to see if Cobra's going to come around the side. Sees that dark cover get tossed out through the wall. And that's going to be the first kill coming in as JoJo does drop. Lawrence manages to find one, but Texture trades it back. Cobra pushing into U-Haul, does manage to find Chibop. Getting the headshot as Kelly tries to drop the spike, but we'll just be leaving it on the ground now. Texture in a 1v2, trying to bring this back. Frenzy out 70 HP, but cannot turn the corner fast enough. Cobra will strike him down, and that's the pistol round going the way of APE.
Yeah, it's just a good reaction to the spike plant there with those double ghosts. Come around the corner, finish the job on the Brim, trying to plant. Kelly goes down, and that really opens up a lot of space. Makes it really hard for Texture there. He's not too sure where his opponents are, and around the corner in U-Haul, didn't realize somebody's there, and wasn't able to react fast enough. So, first round. Gonna fall over towards APE Prince on the defender side. And let's see how this one's going to change. It is, of course, going to be typically the Spectres and even a Marshall now for Slash. I mean, that God-dead Marshall play, I can't get over that. That was just, from F4Q yesterday, was just actually insane. I mean, that flick he had, or not a flick, but just a quick scope, whatever you want to call it, was nuts.
Looks like he did decide to swap off the Marshall, so it does have a stinger. Slash.
Boo!
So changes it up. Might have to wait a little bit longer here, maybe for another save round or a half buy. Boombot, scout forward. JoJo spraying through the wall, but doesn't really manage to get a hit. Meanwhile, Spike rotated over towards B. This is going to be a pretty heavy rotation coming through now from APE as they send 2 over. Slash just kind of waiting in the middle, but JoJo finds Chibop over outside of Showers. Good punish, but that's not really drawing any additional attention here from APE. Now, hearing the spike getting planted, it will be a cause for rotation for the rest of the members, and we'll see if they can get this retake. Already a lot of damage in onto Kelly and Eugene.
Yeah, good shock dart early there by Eugene. Great ability to know where they're going to be. That's Texture taking down Halbe, though. Good defense so far here. That's the opening one. Lear's going to come out, but he's immediately blinded himself.
If Texture manages to find another, JoJo does get dropped, playing forward here inside the tube. Secret will trade 1 for 1. Lawrence pushing the corner, spots out Kelly just for a moment. Molotov to buy some time as Texture lurks around the back. Pushing forward, tapping the spike. Texture starts to move in, cannot get the shot there onto Cobra. Now Kelly gonna have to try to pull it off, goes for the right clicks, but Cobra is there to protect. That's 3 kills for him on the round, and they will go ahead and pick up the second. APE starting things off nicely.
It's good patience by Kelly and Texture. They put themselves in pretty good positions to potentially stop that spike defuse hanging into elbow and all the way back by the door of the alley there but they just couldn't land their shots. I mean, that right click, yeah, I mean, you maybe get a little unlucky with it. It was a little bit off the mark with those smokes there as well. So good job by APE, providing some cover and protection, and not just with their guns, but also with the smokes. It's a very nice defense, but also a good retake attempt with that situation, and those early damages to Kelly didn't really matter too much in the long run, actually, because he was able to avoid it, stay in elbow, get that molly on there, buy time. Pretty good, solid stuff for both teams in that round.
Yeah, kept himself safe, and I really like the body block coming in from Cobra, just straight up standing in front of Lawrence to make sure that, you know, any damage is going to be coming through. At least, if anybody's going to die, then maybe Cobra gets killed off by a right click, but that's enough time for Lawrence to recover his weapon. So, solid stuff. Chasing forward there with the Trailblazer, they do manage to spot JoJo. Seems like they will opt to go over towards the A site now, as that dart does get the hit onto Secret.
Bucky and U-Haul there, waiting. Chibop's going to dash forward. Chibop playing very good on Jet on this map the other day. Texture's great raise. There's the click from Slash. Goodbye, Chibop.
Yep, goes ahead, upgrades his weapon. Bucky to Phantom, that's a pretty nice little nap by him. Flashing in around the corner, looking to clear U-Haul, but Paranoia strikes, and JoJo's got the lineup with the Sheriff. Manages to find Secret. Texture, however, still very much alive. Showstopper out, tries to throw it at his feet, but will fall before he can pull the trigger. Gets dropped, and now it's all on Eugene playing over towards Showers. Couple darts gonna be chucked down. Lobs another one in, but JoJo just pressing forward, spamming through the smoke, manages to clip his head, and APE will win out the crucial rifle round.
Yeah, definitely Chibop not expecting a Bucky inside a U-Haul there.
Nope.
Particularly after, you know, APE Prince won 2 rounds. So I'm really curious to see what Slash is going to go for here. Is he saving up for something, or is he just trying to bank money? It was just they expected them to come into U-Haul, felt like he could get that pick with that Bucky, save a little money regardless with it, but I see him up in heaven. Is he going to be... He's just got a Phantom for now. I guess he just needed some extra money. He must have been pretty broke, it looks like, with 800 left.
So make sure that you constantly have that utility drone. The OWL drone itself is going to be, 300 every time you want to purchase it, so it does rack up pretty heavily. So allows him to grab that. Lawrence playing it patiently. Seems like he might not have been spotted. Nade forward. Lawrence trying to spam the box. Recovery's not there, however, from Secret. He's not prepared, so kill does just come through. Solid first blood for Lawrence, and that's very much going to be hurting any and all hopes for the side of Damwon on this round. It's Halbei, just holding down the corner. Vandal drawn, gets the one tap onto Eugene, pulls back into elbow.
Well, Texture's going to be able to push forward and get the spike plant at least buy time. Chibop's turn for the Bucky, going to get JoJo. And that is over in U-Haul. He's buying a lot of time, causing a lot of disruption over here. That's another one for him. Getting Lawrence, that really gives them a nice attempt. Now he's in the back lines, picking up a third.
Huge play from Chibop. We'll hear that teleporter go through. Spike ticking away. And he's coming up behind Halbei, trying to lurk, trying to spot this out. That is 4 kills. Do we see a 5th? Dashes in onto the site. Should be able to hear some of these footsteps coming through from Cobra. But can he line it up? Yes, he can. Chibop puts Damwon on the board with the ace.
Just built different. Chibop causing so many problems. They don't even need to plant the spike. Who cares? Chibop could just go and do it all on his own from U-Haul. Just insane stuff from him. I mean, just nailing his headshots, just perfectly trailing the enemy team, just making it so it was really hard to keep track of him. And as a Jet, you could chase people down so well, of course. You get those first 2 kills, boom, you have another tailwind, boom, you're right in the back of the team. It's just fantastic stuff.
Absolutely wonderfully done by Chibop, and in such a crucial round, after losing out on the rifles, manages to bring it back and give Damwon their first round victory. JoJo now just trying to hold down Hookah. Jumping around, making his presence known. Oh, spams through, and that's going to be a very crucial pickup. Chibop does fall. JoJo, showstopper out, will take down Secret. Texture looking to push forward and catches him. His gun empty. Does take quite a bit of damage, though. So JoJo by himself still getting a huge amount of value here in Hookah.
Man, Texture just moonwalked right in there and just took him down. That was fantastic. I have to say, when I was watching the games yesterday, one thing that really impressed me was Texture's movement with those blast packs. He does such a good job putting himself into good positions, and there you can see right there, just great timing, good position, good shooting, everything you would expect from him. That one of the superstar players on Damwon Kia. Now we're readjusting after losing 2 in Hookah. It's time to go towards mid. Eugene here, Spike right behind him. It hasn't sent out the Owl Drone or any recon or anything yet, so they're just being a little patient, just clearing out the front of it, maybe seeing if he can... Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, my God, Eugene gonna get the shot, though.
Yep, Cobra, however, does manage to push out. He's gonna TP over, get himself behind box here on site. Smoke's coming down, but he finds Kelly. Right after he calls it in, now it all comes down to texture. With 33 health. Spike picked up, goes for the fake, spots Cobra, takes him down. Cannot quite make it happen. Slash comes in from behind with the Bucky to take him out at range. And Damwon, you know, on the back of an ace, getting that first round. Now they lose the next one. So APE continuing to maintain a lead.
Yeah, it was a little weird there. I don't know why we weren't using any of the utility from the Sova there, from Eugene. He had everything. He had the Owl Drone. He had the recon arrow. He didn't feel like he ever needed to. I get it. You get pretty deep in there without making any noise. You don't want to give away your position, but at the same time, you know somebody's going to be in U-Haul or behind that truck, like or over in showers because nobody's been watching it. You have to be aware of that. And even though Eugene does win that battle with Lawrence over there, he opened himself up to the quick follow-up by Cobra.
Well, Seeker's going to be coming through here from Secret. Get themselves here onto the site. Chibop is going to be breaking that tether, knows that he's going to get spammed through the wall, takes a little bit of damage, now down to 52, and oh man, Halbay actually just follows up, continues to spam it out. Takes him down. He himself has received quite a bit of damage, 20 HP remaining for him, but it's a really nice wallbang to try and temper this push from Damwon.
Yeah, it's a great use of that. Oh, okay. Secret! Just clicks right on Cobra's head.
Finds one, gets the blind off. That's going to force Lawrence into Hookah. Call will be coming through. Kelly watching that angle. Trailblazer finished off while Texture just tries to hold down the door. Manages to get rid of one. Kelly will find the others as Lawrence comes through the window. The cleanup will be there, and Damwon will put another round on the board.
Yeah, pretty good start for APE, but at the end of the day, Damwon Kia just too strong. Doing a good job watching their flanks. They come in very, very nicely, and Halbay doing everything he can to buy time, get some good shots through the wall there, getting that trap wire to reveal stuff. I like where he's putting them on the sights and then setting up in the back, lining up for those shots through the walls. It's a good, smart start, but at the end of the day, Damwon Kia, sometimes they're just good. They're just gonna, run over you. They're very, very talented.
Well, money in hand now for Damwon. Not so much here for the side of APE. Going to be looking for a bit of a thrifty save on the round. See if they can find success as that drone moves forward over through Gardens. Paint shells through. Not going to get the hit onto Halbay. Goes back into the cyber cage, but as it drops, Chibop is ready on that flank angle. Finishing him off. Sheriff shot flying, and it seems like that's just going to be a call for rotation out of the B site.
Yeah, the cross angle was still available from Lawrence. They were never able to displace him at B long, so they didn't feel like they were comfortable pushing into that site. I don't blame them because they would have all basically had to come through Hookah. It was just never there for Eugene. So now Grim's Soaks are down and front half of the site available.
Oh, Cobra getting blinded, throws out that Bucky shot. Texture says, okay, I know where you are. Slash comes around the corner though, really nicely done with the shorty. Instantly just domes him, now grabs a gun for himself. So Phantom is in his inventory, but just he and Lawrence trying to make this happen. Quick peek with the Bucky, may just be able to take him down, but Texture's got the lineup. Head gone, Slash all on his lonesome in a 1v4. May very well just want to pull back and hold on to this rifle.
Yeah, at this point, he might just want to do that. Always rethinking it. Thinking if he could maybe get the exit on the shower, but isn't able to outduel Secret there. He's ready for it. Secret's just a little bit better in that moment, so that's another nice win here for Damwon Kia. Starting to turn it around, make the comeback happen. And now things get pretty interesting for both of these teams. Damwon Kia, the money is going to start rolling in their favor. And now for AP Prince with all those wins, all that money they were able to bank up early, they're going to be blowing it.
Yeah, and this is where things start to get a little bit worrisome. I mean, especially after this round, if APE aren't able to close this out, they do have rifles in their hands, and they really need to buckle down and try to get this win, because, I mean, bear in mind, this is the map pick for Damwon Kia, so APE elected to go on the defense first, try to set up as much of a round win streak as they possibly can. So coming in, kind of breaking even on Bind is not going to be good enough for them. Lawrence with a really nice push out through showers, catches Eugene very much off guard back over towards the spawn. Texture now jumping his way through the site. Doesn't spot anything, spraying for the camera. He's looking for the usual spots, but he's just barely missing it.
Yeah, not really able to catch it just yet. It's kind of hard to see it up there, and now here comes the Hunter's Fury right on the spike plant. It's going to be the finish onto Kelly. Really well done by Slash.
Yeah, does manage to find one. Spike still does get planted. Cam, Chibop finally locating this as Halbay just tries to spray through the wall to take him out. Hasn't managed to get the hits. Showstopper finds nothing. Jumping forward the blast packs. JoJo does get taken down. Out of bullets there was Chibop, but Texture is still here on the site. Now it's Halbay in a 1v2. Knows that he's going to have to split his attention between Garden and site, let alone try to defuse this. Texture waiting up close and personal. He doesn't find the shot. Halbay finds one. Taps the spike, wants to hold this at least a half. And that will just be Secret. Pushing out one more time to go ahead and tie us up 4-4.
There we go. Now things get weird for APE. We saw they spent a lot of money. Damwon Kia are rich as they like. Basically, they are almost all full buy at this point. I mean, in terms of just all the money they have. I saw that Secret, you know, he barely lost any money that round. And it's, you know, he was at like 6,000 something. And look at this. The money is just crazy good for them right now. It's going to be Sheriff for APE, and this one's going to be real interesting. A big Thirsty if they can come through with it, but of course going to be real tough. Texture just so good. This is weird for APE Prince, all trying to come through the same door there without Eugene's in the elbow like he needs to be, but they're just all funneling through at the same time, just getting mowed down. There wasn't really a lot to kind of keep Damwon Kia from being able to punish that move.
Yeah, I mean, they all kind of just piled in on the back of a single Lear, which died before it even, you know, started to blind. So not really tempering their rush, just kind of dogpiled in onto the site, and that very much cost them quite heavily.
Yeah, you're going to need a really good paranoia as well to make that work. Otherwise, yeah, even with the smokes at the doors, Damwon Kia, you're not going to fool them too much. They're just going to continue to spray through there, and those smokes don't last long.
Smoke's coming out now, rotation beginning for APE, but right now it's only Cobra trying to lock down this A side, currently sitting just on the side of this Molotov, holding his angle, waiting for someone to push in. Paint shells to try and disrupt. He does manage to find one. Texture gone, but Chibop quick on the response. Equalizes here for his teammate. Now Eugene finds JoJo, finds Halbay. Blind goes forward, that forces Lawrence back. He does manage to re-peek and get rid of one, but it's about as good as it's going to get, it would seem, unless Slash can pull off some absolutely incredible headshots here with the Sheriff of his own.
Now, the real problem is you've got both ultimates as well available. Kelly and Eugene can just keep that site on lockdown no matter what Slash is able to do as long as they stay alive. And he's just going to rush at him with that Sheriff. Eugene finally able to get that spray down. Going to pop the head, finish it off. And now you still have both the Orbital Strike and the Hunter's Fury available for Damwon Kia, so they can really play back. And I liked what JoJo was doing in the back line for APE. He just got sniffed out by Damwon Kia. They weren't really fooled by it because I think, you know, you have to recognize as APE with those two ults up that they could play off the site after they get the spike planted, Ken Damwon Kia, because they can control that spike site for quite some time after it's put down.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Molotov, the Orbital, and the Hunter's Fury, as you were already mentioning, so there's a plethora of options to just try to hold things off. Blade Storm does get popped here by Chibop. As they creep forward, checking out Hookah. 4-man stack for APE over at the A site. We'll start seeing a rotation out from JoJo. Try and reinforce things for Halbay. At this point, they could probably guesstimate that he is going to be in the back of Labs, waiting around elbow, trying to shoot through the door. Don't quite go for the tailwind here into the back of the site. Chibop keeping himself safe for a moment. Now presses through the smoke, finds Halbay from behind, taking down one. Orbital Strike does get used aggressively. It's not going to be used to try to buy some time, but given that they have this opening kill, they can feel a lot more confident.
They really wanted to keep Elbow under control and not have to worry about that flank as much. That being said, though, it still gets pushed in. Chibop had to back out, so it is getting funneled into by APE Prince.
Gonna scout them out. JoJo pressing forward. The Molotov cutting off this elbow access. Chibop finds another. A second for him with the Blade Storm, and there is the finish as Cobra falls. And it is a flawless round now, 6-4. 2 more to go in the half, but Damwon starting to run away with this.
Yeah, that's 5 in a row for Damwon Kia. They are looking really, really good. They have gotten things figured out. Their setups have gotten good. Their crossfires are good where Kelly was there. Good Molotov to block the exit out of Elbow, and then he's just waiting right around the corner. Good move here by Chibop. Great utilization of the smokes to get in and out, basically unseen from the people coming from the defender side spawn. So that's a really nice move by Chibop. When I said he let go of control of Elbow, he actually made a great move there because they lost complete control of where he was.
Well, it looks like maybe just more scouting. It is a heavier stack this time, so APE starting to get a read that, Damwon really likes to play around this B site. Let's just go ahead and get people situated here. So they do have 2 hovering in hookah. JoJo throwing out the boom bot. Does it go into the hall? Yes, it does. So he can remain safe around the corner. Does a double take with Texture. Still manages to find the kill. Follows up with a headshot on the JoJo. Nade into the back just to cut off. That's the access. Now can drop down. Get this spike planted yet again.
I mean, forget it. If Texture wins a 1v2 in hookah like that, that's just, oh, there's another one for Texture. 3 kills on the round. He's getting healed up by the sky on top of it. I mean, this is just, it's so hard to deal with when that guy's just playing better than you. You can't afford to whiff those shots. Halbeit knew that somebody might be there. He just kind of did a double take on it, and he's, it's a bit of a mistake, and he's probably wishing he could have that one back for sure.
Slash doesn't get tagged by the drone, but Lawrence gets spotted. Kelly pushes the corner, finds him in tube. Showstopper, surprisingly used by Texture, doesn't get the kill. Takes Slash low. It's a bit of a waste of the rocket, but all the same, you can still see a little wry smile on his face there in the webcam. But all the same, it is Damwon Kia with a chokehold on this game. Last round in the half, APE, can they make this 7-5?
Well, they can't have another one of those. They can't have that with Halbei, and then even though JoJo's ready for it, he's already shooting, he still isn't it's a little bit too early. The bullets already kind of coming out the gun, so they're starting to, the
spray pattern.
Yeah, the spray pattern's starting to get a little wonky on it, and Texture just steps out right in the middle of it, puts him down pretty quick. So, well, pushing a little bit of attention into hookah, but not fully capitalizing on it. Chibop's going to dash forward.
Jump up over the top.
Oh, look at that.
Cobra waiting again in U-Haul. Boombot. Not going to find anything. Molotov will just keep him zoned back. He's waiting around the corner with that judge. Chibop trying to hold the angle. A little off from the head, but will manage to finish him.
Yeah, Chibop having a couple really good rounds. Of course, that ace is absolutely fantastic. Let's see what JoJo can do on the side here. It's going to check showers to make sure that's clean. Right now it is. There's 3 members of Damwon Kia stuck over in their U-Haul, so this could be pretty interesting if they get some good utility in there.
And Lear, again, not going to be finding too much. Texture is gone. I don't know what happened there. Kelly, I guess the rocket going a little bit too deep behind him. Doesn't get clipped by it. However, it's still going to be 2v2, and Eugene cannot flip over fast enough. Everybody collapsing here. As the defuse will come in, and APE will manage to make this a 7-5.
It's not the best defense setup there for Damwon Kia. They're all in U-Haul and then right at the entrance by the teleporter. So there isn't a lot of crossfires being created for Damwon Kia. You open yourself up to, potentially 2 members getting blinded by either a Paranoia or a Lear or whatever. You can smoke off. The vision a lot easier as well. That didn't really come into play that much in that situation. But for Damwon Kia, I'd like to see them either try and push somebody out of U-Haul to make them respect it a bit, or get somebody in the showers. Somebody's got to be over in showers as well to create the proper crossfire for that setup.
Well, APE trying to keep it as close as possible here, despite the deep run from Damwon. I mean, was it 6 rounds in a row to get themselves up to 7. Now they flip over onto the defense, and APE, they need to pull out all the stops for their attack. I'm curious to see, what kind of style we're going to be seeing from them. Hopefully it's going to be varying, go hard to the paint every now and then also just go for some slow plays. Lurk, try to gain some information, take over the map very slowly. But This is still a very worrisome spot to be in.
That was kind of interesting for Damwon Kia. It didn't really feel like they changed the pace too much throughout that game. It was pretty steady. They were just kind of always slowly pressuring things. There were, you know, maybe one or two real fast rounds, but the rest of it was pretty steady, pretty methodical from them. They're poking at the angles they want to start out on, and if they get an early kill on one of those angles, then they keep the momentum going. That's when they put the pedal on the gas. They don't just, you know, blind send it, do a rush. They're very patient. They're going to wait you out a bit, and that's why they're able to string together six wins in a row there in that first half.
Well, early scout call's going to be coming through that this is in fact going to be a B rush for the pistol round here in the second half. Chibop gets himself back around the corner for the frenzies, pushes out, trades perfectly evenly actually, 48-48, as Lawrence will get chunked down just a little bit more. Great headshot from Halbe, finds Eugene and Hookah to open up this spike plant. As Cobra will be putting that one down on the ground. Shell's not going to be finding too much, and Halbe follows up for a second, tries to swap guns, but Texture playing from defender's side, does manage to find one. Dash in from Chibop, gets found out, but Secret takes down two. It all comes out down to Jojo now, who's up here in Hookah. Texture will get the headshot, and that's going to be Damwon Kia taking away the pistol round this time.
So even though Halbe does a great job displacing the member of Damwon Kia that's in Hookah first, there was actually two in there. Secret waits, he hides himself, he kind of fools APE Prince into thinking that no one's going to be coming from there, at least not that quick, and all of a sudden he comes to life, picks up a huge double, and that just breaks apart the defense of APE there. It's a really nice, smart play from Secret to be really patient with that. Of course, Texture is just all over the place, just killing everybody right now because he's a nutter.
Yeah, the guy is good. He's pretty good at video games.
He's pretty good.
Specifically Valorant. I don't know that much more about his history as a pro, I guess. But over on the other side, we do have three sheriffs for APE looking to make this work. Let's see what they can get done. We have a little bit of a show down here in the showers. Paint Shell's just going to be lobbed forward. Forces Lawrence out of this position. Texture will get spotted, but lets the boom bot go a little bit. Doesn't manage to bounce it out of the showers, however.
Yeah, a little pre-firing after they caught a brief glimpse of him with that recon dart. Lawrence and the others just going to pop through with their sheriffs potentially. We'll see. Lawrence going to push up through the smoke, trying to see if he can catch somebody peeking around the angle. I mean, Kelly is there on the other side of Texture, so trying to create a crossfire, trying to see if they can, you know, catch APE really wanting to over-aggress through here, but Lawrence right now not biting just yet. He continues to work his way more back towards the teleporter, the rest of his team heading towards B.
Yeah, and a big loss on Cobra. Looked like he had inched forward, up short, got himself teleported just outside of U-Haul. I believe on the same, you know, kind of boost spot that we've seen.
Yeah.
Chibop go for the updraft dash forward. So it does get picked off there. Paint Shell's wreaking havoc here onto Secret. Gotta remember, can't really top himself up. Does just have to play patiently. Would love to get some heals onto Eugene right now. Will be given the opportunity. Eugene, however, still manages to push out. Takes down Lawrence, even with a 2 health disadvantage. The Secret finds another one. Follows up for a second. And that will be the closeout on the round. Very nicely done here by Damwon, holding it down, but APE now should be coming forward with guns.
Secret doesn't care if you know where he's at. He's got a judge. He wants you to come to him. He's just standing behind that box, just waiting. He gets spotted. It does not matter. And you know, his teammate, Eugene, is in that box, took a whole bunch of damage, was down to 2 hit points at one, and then, of course, ended up falling. But that's all on Secret there. That's just really nicely done with that judge. You're being patient. You're putting your opponent in bad positions. That's what you have to do, and it's an unusual spot to have a judge, right? If your opponent's going to be somewhere with a shotgun, you're thinking...
On the B side? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hookah.
you're thinking Hookah. Right, you're not thinking back there. If it's on the A side, you're thinking, you know, U-Haul or Showers or something.
Well, 2-man stack here in Showers. Does manage to go 1-for-1 as Texture falls. That's going to be a really big boon here potentially for the side of APE. But as I say that, Jojo does get picked off as well. So advantage right back into the hands of Damwon Kia as far as numbers are concerned. Halbe, however, using his superior firepower with this Vandal, will find Secret. It's for the healing, but Chibop coming in hot. Takes down Cobra. Spike still dropped. Back in a neutral position here around the link area over towards B.
And that gives Chibop
and
a better gun.
Eugene's going to find it too.
Yep.
So, yep. Here's the spike.
But there's a Cypher tripwire there, so maybe even though Cypher is clear on the other side, and nobody from AP is anywhere near
And
that.
this just means that APE has no idea that they have found the spike.
No, they have no clue. And there's no reason at all for Eugene to move. He can just sit. He just needs to sit at that box.
Yep.
Here comes Slash. Oh, all right. Now they know.
Yep. They immediately step away from each other. His crosshair is left in between both heads. Can't click any of them at all. Smoke coming down. APE pushing through, but only to his demise. 10-5. Damwon continuing to look good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of a whole lot of things right now for Damwon, Kia, APE. The money's not good as well. As you can see, their economy's in shambles. This one is going to be rough, and then after that, then they got to start winning a lot of rounds in a row to come back into this. This one, you can, 9 times out of 10, you can chalk up a Sheriff round to a loss. You never know, though. Of course, these players are nuts. But then after that, it'll be 11, and then you cannot afford to lose. You can't afford to lose another one after this. Yeah.
I mean, you can barely even afford to lose this one. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. When it's ever 10-5, you're not wanting to lose too many.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not going to do them too much good right now. Any of the ultimates they have on the side of APE. Cobra pushing in, doesn't even manage to land his shot. Texture's still going to be fully topped up with full armor. Gene just looking to scout. They will finish off that boom bot as paint shells come flying through.
Yeah, and at least displaced Secret. I almost called him Discreet, which is another type of Secret, but Secret there. Chibop throws down that Cloudburst and just waiting to see if anyone's going to push through. Lawrence has been creeping his way through here. Chibop going to wait. Can he get the headshot? No! Lawrence lands a good one with the Sheriff.
He does, and if he can get that gun, maybe find an additional pick, that could be huge. APE does fall. Lawrence finds another one with the Sheriff, making this a 3v3. Gun in hand, does have the Empress if he wants to try to go hard in the paint here. Texture coming out from the CT side, snaps onto one. And Slash does manage to finish him off. Blind flying through, Secret playing around elbow. Just buying time for Kelly to arrive. The Seekers will even be used. They really just want to win this round. They just want to shut this out.
Yep.
And they will manage to do so. Nothing that Slash can do in that situation.
You don't want to give them any hope of a comeback. You don't want to allow them to get an extra gun in their hands, give them any kind of momentum with the economy or just with confidence even. And this is so good right now for Damwon. I mean, Texture is so dialed in right now. He is just clicking heads all over the place. You can see here, gets the opening kill. Lauren's doing a fantastic job. I mean, getting 2 at the Sheriff, but then Kelly cleans it up. But Texture comes in there, gets a great double on the site itself. He just looks fantastic. The last couple days, Texture has been really impressing me with this race.
Chibop trying to cheat forward, rather, with the operator, but will not manage to see anything. It's going to be a fairly fast attack over onto the B site. As the Leers come down. Secret stuck here in the cubby, looking for a shot. Got to tag in onto the Reyna, but hasn't been able to get the finish. It's quite a bit of damage here to Cobra, who's down to 3 HP. Eugene playing in the smoke, will pull back. Texture is gone, and things start to look very, very good now for APE to get the spike planted and maybe have it detonate. Lawrence, however, gets pushed, gets taken down as Eugene finds 2. Chibop gets the snipe onto Jojo. Oh, what a shot from him, and now it's just Cobra with 3 HP in a dream, and he actually does it! Whoops. This guy, what a turnaround. The clutch is there.
Cobra with that big double at the end saves the day. 3 hit points left. My goodness. If they had lost that round, they weren't going to have enough money to do anything.
Wow.
Ah!
He got chunked to 3 HP, like off the bat, on the entry to the site, and then still manages to persevere the entire time.
Woo!
What a turnaround from him. Hearing the rush coming in from Eugene, gets the lineup, gets 4 kills in the round. Absolutely massive.
What a 180.
I mean, that being said, money still very much there for the side of Damwon. So APE looking to win 6 straight.
Well, getting Texture early, big part of that for sure for them. It looks like Eugene had a nice double in the middle of it. APE picks up the first. Eugene down again. APE picks up 2. Can he find 3? No, not quite. Hunter's Fury was there. Help him out a little bit. Jojo picks up 1.
And this is huge for APE, looking to run it back. Neural Theft coming out. Lawrence doesn't even need the vision. Spots him out, and Texture is left all on his lonesome over towards the A site. And Lawrence, he's feeling frisky. He wants to go on the hunt.
Halbei's really got those shots lined up from B side up into hookah. We've seen it a couple times here in this game where he's been able to just dome people. So that's a really nice shot to have. That's a really tough one to land sometimes. And getting that down, having that consistency to keep the defending side out of hookah really opens up a lot of space. It's one of the important crossfires that can be created by the defenders on the B site, that and elbow. So if you can isolate one of those.
Texture makes his way back in. Thought maybe the timing was going to completely screw him up. Just checking out U-Haul, making sure that he's not getting pushed from short, but how wary is he going to be of this lurk from the defender's spawn? It's now checking Heaven and just
quiet. Just play the elevator music while we wait.
Just taking their time.
I almost had that lined up with the spike ticks. Yeah, this is just fantastic entry. Just everything clicking for APE that round, and I mean, there's no give up. You can see they're fist bumping, they're ready, and Damwon Kia, it's okay. You're still pretty well ahead. Nothing to be too nervous about yet. Have a lot of money, but the good news now, of course, for APE is they've got money too, and this is going to be pretty tight the rest of the way, one way or another. Everybody's pretty much going to have money.
Yeah, very nice round. Now Chiba feeling the penny pinching is going to be moving over to the Marshal. Looks like just the Sheriff here for Eugene. So one rifle secured there by Texture. Halbei gets the spot with the camera. Marshal shot takes that down.
I would have thought Damwon Kia had a little more money, but I guess not. I guess they were a little less than I thought. Texture did pick up a Phantom, but yeah, we know Chibop's nuts with those snipers. We've already seen it. But this is a map where you can definitely make the shotguns work. We've already seen it. Secret. Slash as well had a pretty good moment earlier. And there's Texture. Just give him a gun and let him go hog wild.
Yeah, and that's a really bad boon now for the side of APE. Losing out on Lawrence this early puts a lot more pressure on Halbei and Cobra to really compensate for that lack of a fifth. Hunter's Fury does get used here.
Oh!
Jojo does get a tag, and Slash does fall. Good little pickup for them. Cobra spraying through, gets rid of Secret, the Bucky. Not going to find success, but still going to be a man advantage here for Damwon. And Lawrence is alive. TP having to be used, but Cobra cannot get out of there fast enough. And now with Halbei gone and Jojo on 4 HP, surely they don't manage to have somebody pull this off yet again. He will pull back, look to hold on to this weapon, and now APE. Unfortunately for them, they have to play to take us into overtime. 5 rounds in a row is what is necessary to make that happen.
Yeah, it's a heck of a thrifty there for Damwon Kia. Doing a fantastic job. Great utilization of the orbital strike. That's one of those spots where if you can get them kind of overcommitted into the U-Haul, there's no good exits. And especially if you're watching the defender side spawn or side of U-Haul, you know, look at this. You can't go out that way. There's only one way that he can go out, and they know it.
Yeah.
And he can't react fast enough with the TP.
Very much a catch-22 situation, so really good stuff from Kelly to put them in that position. Now, Lawrence starting to press forward. They will hear multiple gunshots coming through, so they know there's at least 2 lurking over by Fountain here at B Long. Bob just playing respectfully back in Garden. Doesn't want to try to push out against this.
Curious. Does Secret, is he really just stuck on a Sheriff still? He's been knifing and... Yeah, I guess so. I've been watching him and I'm like, what did you pick up there, my guy? Did you... Not too sure, but this one much more patient from APE. They're really slowing up the pace. They really want to be smart and methodical about it. Some recon is going to come out. Nobody up there. In Long Beach. Chibop moving his way over, gonna see that Lear, gonna wait a bit. Another Lear gonna send him packing, but he sees him through that pickup and can't quite find anything.
Doesn't manage to do so. Eugene now gone. Kelly eliminated. 2 members left in a 2v5 attempted retake. Secret here on the side with that Bucky. Does manage to find one, but that is not really gonna be good enough. Re-push there from Lawrence. Finishes off Texture. It's 4 rounds to go for APE.
Well, they can do it. And again, I suspect that the economy is going to be a little wonky now for Damwon Kia. We'll see. With Texture, or Secret, excuse me, saving up with that Bucky, they actually might be able to have enough money to get the buys they mostly want. It looks like Eugene has to go for the Spectre instead of a Phantom or a Vandal, but otherwise, yeah, there is just enough money for a couple of them to get their buys. The rest are going to have a little bit, and again, the economy is going to be there for AP either one way or another for the rest of this. If we go to overtime, they're going to have enough money. If we don't, well, you know, then they've lost.
Forward push there from Chibop. Does manage to get one of these Leers out of the way. That's going to make the entry here onto the B side or A, wherever they decide to go, a bit more difficult. Shock dart right at Lawrence's feet. Take a nice chunk of HP off of him. Well, Secret sees that boombot comes down, sprays just in case there's going to be an aggressive push on the back end of it. Gets himself out of hookah safely, while the rest of APE are going to start rotating potentially over towards A. Spike's still on the ground, but you can see Lawrence making his way over towards short.
Well, you know there's at least the Sova and the Sky there, and you probably suspect that Chibop's hanging around because he has been over on B, so I'm going to try to switch gears, head over towards mid to A. Smokes are going to come down. You're going to smoke off a couple of the spots on the site and showers.
Texture forced out of U-Haul, at least for the moment. Cobra looks to push in, but Secret is there, backing him up. They managed to find the kill. That's going to be one gone. Kelly pushing the corner, and there you have it. Blink your eyes and you will miss it. Flawless here on the final round, 13-8. Damwon Gaming Kia taking down APE Prince on Bind.
Yeah, this is just a great maneuver at the end by Damwon Kia to really sniff out that rotation. They knew that they were leaving B. They just kept pushing, and Chibop never kind of stopped going forward, never let go of W there. And that turns out to be a big part of this because right away they're in the flanks as APE wants to push in, and that's just a massacre on top of them.
Well, not the way that APE want to start this series, given that Ascent is map number 3, but we will be heading towards their map pick of Icebox to see if they can tie up this set. And again, that will basically tell us whether or not they do have set plays, they are prepared to execute on that map, or if they really just got backed into a corner and had no better options other than Icebox.
It's like, well, Muyaho beat him on it, so maybe we can? I mean, I would suspect they're prepared for this because you have to think that this map is likely to come out unless Damwon Kia bans it. Because you know you're probably not going to ban it yourselves. You know you're going to ban Split. And there is a potential that they don't. So I'll be really curious to see. I mean, maybe APE thought that Damwon Kia was going to ban it after they got beat by Muyaho, but, you know, Muyaho's a really tough team. I don't know, you know, whatever map you're playing them on, they're difficult.
We can see here, headshot percentage a little bit better here for APE, but overall, majority of damage is dealt there by Damwon. They come in with, you know, +7 frag wins in the map, and just had some wonderfully streaky moments scattered throughout. APE, we're fighting tooth and nail to try to make it happen, but unfortunately, just couldn't quite get it done.
Texture was huge in that round. Just all over the place, landing fantastic shots, just doing everything you would want out of your Rays, and there you can see 2.4 KDA, 344 combat score, 25 kills. That is a hell of a round.
Yeah, his KD, I was watching it from the beginning, and, you know, when they first started going their initial run, I was like, he's going to have like a 2.8, maybe even a 3.0, but they were able to kind of rein him in a little bit, get a couple of good punishes on the Texture, but for the most part, it felt like he was just off the chain, you know, here in this map, so they need to do a lot better of a job of containing him on Icebox if they want to find a victory and take us into a map number 3. So APE, we'll see what they have prepped for us. I'm excited to see if, you know, with this, you know, this surprising map pick coming in for them, whether or not we'll have some surprising agent selections as well.
Yeah, I mean, that one was basically both of these teams playing what they normally do on that map, so nothing surprising there. Nobody really throwing for any curveballs.
Yeah, well, guys, we will find out in just a little bit. As we get ready to go into a quick little break, give these teams a breather. APE need all of the time that they can get to get together and figure out how they're going to engineer a victory on Icebox. When we come back, we'll have that map, so don't go anywhere.